Look, let me get started with these Trump sound bites. We opened the program talking about this presser, and it was a press conference for the ages, and it's one of these press conferences that many people on the Republican side have been desperately hoping to see someday, sometime, with a Republican under assault, judged to be an unfair assault, finally being ripped into by the Republican, the media being ripped into here for the way they're going about their business. So this is at Trump Tower. Major Garrett, CBS, chief White House correspondent. How personally involved were you in deciding which military organizations were to be recipients and how much they got? And how did you prioritize them?
I wasn't too involved in picking the organizations, other than I gave $1 million to the Marine, the law enforcement Marine. They are fabulous people. They honored me last year. I knew them. I was going to give it to 3 companies or 3 groups, and we couldn't vet them quickly. And so I gave it to the Marine. And if you look at that number, the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation is a fabulous group. And I didn't have to go through a big vetting process with them because I was going to split the $1 million check up among 3 or 4 different groups. And in the end, I just didn't want to go through the process of having to vet all those different groups.
Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, Jim Kallstrom, the former head of the New York office of the FBI, is now one of the executive directors of MCLEF. And as you know, this program is involved deeply with MCLEF, as is the Rush Revere Time Travel Adventures with Exceptional Americans. Books are to us by T. We are sponsors of the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. If you'll recall, the Harry Reid letter that he wrote to the former CEO of Clear Channel demanding that I be made to apologize and maybe be forced to resign over unfairly calling a veteran a phony soldier. We auctioned that Harry Reid letter, and I agreed to match whatever it raised. And $4 million was donated to the Marine Corps Law. 4.2, actually. It sold on eBay for $2.1 million, and I had agreed to match it. So it was $4.2 million to MCLEF. And I was at that event that Trump was honored. He was sitting, for what it's worth, well, 2 tables over. But I was at that event, and I just to attest that it happened. And I want you to hear, Kallstrom was on CNN today. Carol Costello was hoping that Kallstrom would somehow contradict what Trump had said. She said, Mr. Trump pledged $1 million of his own money to one organization. Was it yours?
We did get $1 million from Donald. He's been a big supporter of veterans groups for close to 4 decades now, Carol. I knew for some time that we were going to be the recipient. I didn't know the actual amount, but I guess it was about a week ago. Don't hold me to that. Some week ago, 10 days ago, when we actually received the money.
Yeah, and I was there. It's like 2 Aprils ago. Maybe it's in March, but it's always the Waldorf Astoria in the grand ballroom there. And Trump was the award winner and the recipient that year. One more question from Carol Costello and answer.
So I was just wondering if you found out in January, shortly after the event, if your organization would be a beneficiary.
Well, there were hints in that direction, and he's always been a big supporter of us. We give 98% of the money donated, which is a very high number that we're very proud of. We have 1 part-time employee, and basically all the money goes to the children of those who've lost their life in the line of duty.
Yeah, Marines, and sometimes they expand it to Army and Air Force, sometimes Secret Service, Oklahoma City bombing, all of the protective agencies that were housed in the Murrah building. MCLEF went into action then, but they provide scholarships to the children of Marines killed in action. I was practically there in the living room when this foundation was formed in Rockville Center on Long Island. And they are a great bunch of people. They do have a 98% pass-through. And I know who the one employee is. And he's one of the greatest guys in the world. But what difference does it most say? Trump does his veterans deal on the night of the Hawkeye primary debate that was on Fox. You know, Trump skipped it, did a veterans fundraiser. So here's Carol Costello. Well, Mr. Kelsom, did Trump, did he decide way back in January that your organization was against? So what they're trying to say is that they have forced Trump into donating money that he never intended to donate. He was just saying that he was going to. That's their premise. And they're trying to catch Trump in all that. He knows it. And he's fed up with it. And that set the tone for the press conference. Back to the next press conference bite. This is Major Garrett following up. Don't you believe you should be accountable to the people?
I'm totally accountable, but I didn't want to have credit for it. We have given to groups that are unbelievable groups. And honestly, I wish you could hear the phone calls and see the letters. They are so happy. And I'm happy to do it. I didn't want the credit for it, but it was very unfair that the press treated us so badly. Go ahead.
To follow up on that, you keep calling us the dishonest press, the disgusting press.
Generally speaking, that's 100% true. Go ahead.
I disagree with that, sir. And if I can ask you this question, it seems as though you're resistant to scrutiny, the kind of scrutiny that comes with running for president of the United States.
Excuse me. I've watched you on television. You're a real beauty. When I raise money for the veterans, and it's a massive amount of money, find out how much Hillary Clinton's given to the veterans. Nothing.
That's exactly right, because Hillary Clinton doesn't give anybody anything. With Hillary Clinton, it's all incoming. There's no outgoing. There's no outflow with Hillary Clinton. But Trump is right. Okay, so you think I deserve scrutiny. Where is the scrutiny of Bernie Sanders? Where's the scrutiny of Hillary Clinton? Where is one half of the interest in this whole email scandal of hers that you're showing in whether I've donated to the vets or not? But look, everybody knows the game here. This is why people love what Trump is doing here. He's not standing up there taking. He's firing right back at them. He's letting them know he knows it's an unlevel playing field. He's going to treat them accordingly. Got to take a break. We'll be right back, though.